All right, let's dive into one of the most powerful, and I mean truly powerful, ideas in all of economics. It's a concept that pretty much single-handedly built our modern world, and it's the reason you have, well, almost everything you own.
I want you to really think about this for a second. Could one single person build a smartphone completely from scratch? And I don't just mean snapping the parts together. I mean mining the minerals, processing the silicon, designing the software, manufacturing the glass, the whole shebang. The answer? No way, not even close. And understanding why that is, well, that's the key to our entire economy.
So, here's how we're going to break this down. We'll start with that big problem, then we'll look at the elegant solution that changed everything. We'll see how it created a totally new kind of worker, and then we're going to weigh the incredible benefits against some pretty serious hidden dangers. And by the end, we'll ask the big question, is it all worth it?
So yeah, that smartphone example, it isn't a one-off. Almost everything we use today, from our cars to our clothes, is just way too complex for any one person to create from start to finish. So, how on earth did we solve this massive production puzzle?
Well, it turns out the solution was elegant, almost deceptively simple. Instead of one person trying to do 100 different things, we just break the big job down. We slice it into many, many smaller pieces. This right here is the core idea of what we call the division of labor.
It really works just like this. You take a giant process, like building a car, and you absolutely shatter it into thousands of tiny little steps. So now, one person's entire job might just be to install the driver's side door handle. All day. Every single day. And that one simple change in how we approach work, it has absolutely monumental consequences. And you know, when you give one person one simple task to do over and over and over again, something kind of incredible happens. That person gets really, really good at it. This is the direct, powerful, and natural outcome of dividing up the work. And that leads us straight to our next big idea, specialization. It's the natural result of this whole process. People, and even entire companies, they stop being generalists who can do a little bit of everything. Instead, they focus all their energy on doing just one thing, but doing it exceptionally well.
So you see, it's like this powerful chain reaction, right? It all starts when you divide the work. That division then allows a worker to focus all their mental and physical energy on just one specific task. And that intense, repeated focus, well, that's what forges a specialist, an expert. You really can't have one without the other. They're two sides of the same coin.
Okay, so why do we do all this? What is the point of structuring our entire economy around this idea? Because, and this is the key, it is an unbelievably powerful engine for efficiency and productivity. The benefits are just massive.
Okay, first off, the most immediate benefit is just pure speed. A worker doing one task over and over gets incredibly fast just through repetition. You totally eliminate all that wasted time from switching tools or, mentally shifting from one job to another. All of a sudden, it makes sense to build $1 million machine that does only one tiny thing. And get this, training a new employee can take hours instead of years.
But it doesn't even stop there. This system lets us match people's natural talents to specific jobs. Specialists get such a deep understanding of their tiny part of the process that they're often the ones who figure out how to make it better. They're the ones who innovate. And all of this combines to create a gigantic increase in the total amount of stuff we can make.
Look, if there's one thing to really take away from all the good stuff, it's this. 10 people working separately might make, say, 10 widgets in a day. But those same 10 people working together but each specializing in one part of a divided process, they might make 100 widgets. It's a system that just creates more wealth and more goods for everyone.
But you knew there was a but coming, right? It's not all sunshine and roses. This powerful engine comes with some very real and very human hidden costs. It is definitely not a perfect system.
Think back to that worker we talked about, the one installing the same door handle thousands of times a week. That work can become incredibly repetitive, soul-crushingly boring even. There's a real potential for a loss of job satisfaction and that feeling of pride, that sense of craftsmanship that you get from building something amazing from start to finish.
And the risks actually go way beyond just one person's happiness. Workers develop very, very narrow skills, which can actually be a form of de-skilling. They might forget how to do anything else. This makes them really vulnerable. If their one specific job gets replaced by a robot, they face a much higher risk of unemployment. And critically, the entire system becomes highly interdependent.
And this, right here, reveals the core vulnerability of the whole system.
A modern production line isn't just a group of people working together. It's a fragile, connected chain. Every single link in that chain is completely and totally dependent on the link that came right before it.
So, what happens when one of those links breaks? If the team making microchips suddenly has a supply issue, the entire smartphone factory can grind to a complete halt. One small disruption somewhere down the line can cause a catastrophic failure for everyone. It turns out the price of all that hyper-efficiency is a kind of systematic fragility.
So, this brings us to the final and most crucial question of all. We've got this system that gives us this incredible abundance and amazing productivity, but it comes with real costs. Costs to individual satisfaction and costs to the resilience of the whole system. Is that a price worth paying? At the end of the day, this is the fundamental trade-off that's right at the heart of our modern world. We've built this incredible engine of productivity by creating armies of specialists. But in doing that, have we made ourselves and our entire systems less adaptable and more fragile? It's a question worth thinking about the next time you pick up that smartphone.